Good morning, students. In today's class of service marketing, we'll start with a new concept, that is service vision. In the previous classes, we have studied about service blueprinting, and we have understood what are the various components of service blueprinting, what is the importance of service blueprinting, and we have also studied in the previous class what are the various guidelines that can be followed in order to make a good service blueprint. So, before understanding service blueprinting guidelines, let us understand what is service blueprinting. Service blueprinting is also known as flow charting. This is done in order to understand the service in totality, the whole service process that is studied, that is put into flow chart, and fail this flow charting helps in understanding what are the various fail points on the various problem areas in the service delivery process, and then we can understand what should be done in order to remove these fail points and make the service much more effective and efficient. So there are various components, importance of blueprinting. We have also understood blueprinting with the help of an example. Now we'll understand what are the various guidelines. We'll just recap about the various guidelines of service blueprinting. The first is the decision on company service or service process to be blueprinted. So the first thing that has to be kept in mind while making the service blueprinting is that which company service or process that we are going to focus on. Sometimes we may propose on the complete service, all the services that is been provided by the company, or sometimes we may focus on a particular service that is being provided to the customers. So first we have to make a decision regarding which service companies, which service process needs to be blueprinted. Now the second thing we have to understand is one of the guidelines is determining who should be involved in the blueprinting process. There are various people working in the organization, various departments, cross-functional teams are working in the department, in the organization, and they together uh, give or deliver the service to the customers. But while making a service blueprint, we have to keep in mind that we have to decide who are the people who will be included in the blueprinting process, because if we do not ponder upon this and we add each and everyone in the blueprinting process, then the process will become much chaotic and will lead to a lot of confusion. So first we have to determine, the second thing we have to determine is to decide which are the people who will be heads of these cross-functional teams or departments who will be involved in the blueprinting process, because they will be discussing about what are the various fail points and they will be able to understand the complete service delivery process. So only these key people should be involved in this blueprinting process. Now the third guideline is modify the blueprint techniques as appropriate. The blueprinting techniques, whatever it has been applied, it has to be made a tailor-made as per the need of the organization. Therefore, the blueprint techniques has to be appropriate. Then we have to map the service as it happens most of the time. There are times when the services are in extraordinary situations or under difficult times, the service may not be given in the way it is normally provided to the customers. But when we are doing a service blueprinting, we have to map the service, or we have to see the complete service delivery as it happens most of the time, so that we will understand what is the general areas of problem or fail points in the service process. Obviously, during extraordinary or difficult times, the service delivery process will be altered or will be hampered. But we have to see, while making a service blueprinting, we have to see, map the service as it happens most of the time. Now, another guidelines for this service blueprinting is that note the disagreements to capture the learning. So, whenever this various people involved in the blueprinting process, they come together and discuss about the blueprinting uh, process and also discuss about the steps that is involved in the blueprinting process, then there must be certain disagreements that is obvious to be happening between these various people. But we have to note these disagreements and try to understand, capture the learning from these disagreements. We should use this friction or this conflict between these people and try to make the best out of it. So the disagreements, why these are done, why these are happening, and these are done because in order to make the service blueprint much more efficient and effective. So we have to take learning from these disagreements and make the service blueprinting a success. Be sure customers remain in the focus. So while blueprinting, service blueprinting is done, it is always has to be remembered that the customer remains in the focus, and it is all the services should be delivered in a proper way so that the customer is satisfied. The customer should remain in focus, and if it is the customer is not in focus, then the service blueprinting will never be proper, and the will not be able to understand or explore the various fail points that are there in the service process. Then we have to track insights that emerge for future actions. Whenever we are making service blueprinting, there may be a lot of insights that is happening, which may give as a pointer, help us in understanding the various future action that we are going to take in them that we can take. So these insights can be used in order to make the service process much more efficient and effective in the future. Then develop recommendation and future action based on blueprinting goals. So whenever we are doing the service blueprinting, there are certain blueprinting goals that is in the mind, and we have to develop these recommendations and make way for future actions based on this blueprinting goals. And finally, it is designed to create blueprints for use in organizations. This service blueprint is not only helpful for the organization because they make the service process completely efficient and effective and much more productive, which gives maximum satisfaction to customers, but also this service blueprint can also be used to train the employees about the service process. The service blueprint is very important because it helps them to understand and explore what are the fail points in the service delivery, and we can remove these processes. Sometimes new steps are added in the service blueprinting, or sometimes when the steps are repetitive or toxic to the customer or leads to a lot of wastage in the service delivery process, those repetitive or difficult or inefficient process steps are also sometimes removed from the service blueprint. The service blueprint must be very, very dynamic and should be changed as per the need of the organization and time. So these are the various guidelines for service blueprinting. So now let us come to the new topic, that is service vision. Organizations often have written statements declaring their commitment to superior service. Whenever we are talking about service marketing and about service vision, every organization has particular written statements declaring that their aim is to provide superior service to the customers. So this is known as service vision. While the intentions are good, many of these statements are not distinctive, motivating, or clear. Even though the statements or the aim of the company is to provide, or the company is committed, the service company is committed to provide superior service to the customers, sometimes even if the intentions are good, the statements are very, very ambiguous. They do not have any distinctive statements, and they are not motivating and clear enough. Since they are not clear enough, they are also not very motivating for all the employees of the organization. So, a strong service vision should be clear and unique and give people a sense of purpose, value, and meaning. So, when we are speaking about service vision, a strong service vision, it should have the following characteristics: that it should be clear, it should not be ambiguous. All the statements, all the words that has been used in the service vision, that should be completely clear, unique. It should be differentiating from the competitors, that we are able to give certain value that is not given by the competitors, so some extra value is given by the service company, and give people a sense of purpose, value, and meaning. So here we are talking about human resources, about of the company, of the service company. So these people, after reading this service vision, they should be motivated, they should feel a sense of purpose and value and meaning for the service vision. When there is a particular sense of purpose, value, and meaning to the service vision statements, then the people are motivated enough, and they work towards providing the best service to the customers. A strong service vision is fundamental. It gives people a sense of purpose, value, and meaning. As we've already discussed, is very, very fundamental that a strong service vision gives a sense of purpose, value, and meaning to the people. Then, a strong service vision is inspiring. It arouses the feelings of ambition, enthusiasm, and commitment. A very strong service vision is very, very important because it is very motivating and inspiring to the human resources. It arouses the feeling of ambition, enthusiasm, and commitment. The people become much more enthusiasm, and they have the ambition and become much more committed to provide superior service to the customers. So that is the reason the service vision should be very, very inspiring. A strong service vision gives direction to the company. It provides an unmistakable idea of what is sought and what is not. So the employees of the organization, after reading the service vision, they will be able to decipher, understand that what the organization wants to uh, accomplish, and what is the commitment of the service organization, what they are trying to accomplish, and what are the things they are do not want to venture into, or the things that should be avoided. So the service vision should be such that it gives direction to the service company. A strong service statement also works to help differentiate your company from others. The service vision, a strong service vision is very, very essential for the company, service company, because it helps the service company to differentiate itself from the competitors or the people who are competing with their company. They will be able to understand what extra value they are going to give to the customers, and why this customer should opt services or avail services from their company. So the strong service statement should be something we should be able to differentiate the company from the competitors. The ability to integrate information of various types is essential in creating a service vision. So a service vision will be much more effective when there is an ability to integrate the various types of information, because when we are able to integrate the various types of information, which is clear, which is motivating, which is uh, provides a sense of purpose, value, and gives enthusiasm and ambition to the people. It tells the people what this the service company wants to achieve or accomplish, gives the direction to the company. Then the service vision will be much more effective. Then synthesizing a vision requires foresight to ensure that the vision will be appropriate for the future environment, and hindsight so that the organizational traditional and culture are not overly violated. So while synthesizing a service vision, while designing a service vision, it should be something which should have both the foresight and hindsight. When we say foresight, we are looking into the future. The service vision should help the company or the service organization to ensure that the vision will be appropriate for the future environment. That the service vision is something which can be accomplished in the future, will help the company to develop in the future environment, business environment. So the service vision should be foresighted, and also the service vision should be having certain hindsight. What is hindsight? That the service organization, whatever this tradition is there, whatever the culture is there, that they are not violated, they are still sticking with this organizational tradition and culture. So service vision should be something that should have both the foresight and hindsight. Foresight for the future, and how it will shape in the future environment, work in the future environment, and also it should not forget or remove all this organizational tradition and culture that is still prevailing in the organization. So the service vision should be having both. The process must also include a mechanism for revision so that the vision will reflect future changes in the environment. Whenever the service vision is made, the process must also include a mechanism for revision. That means there must be room to make any changes as per the needs of the organization, service organization in the future, so that the service vision will reflect future and changes in the environment. So as and when there is changes in the business environment, and the organization feels that they need to uh, little bit alter the service vision, they must be having the scope or the opportunity to make changes to the service vision. So the service vision should include a mechanism for revision, so that the service vision can be altered as per the needs of the future of the organization, or the way the organization is going to perform in the future business environment. So this is the way in which the service vision is very important. And strong service vision is something which instills a sense of value, ambition, and purpose in the minds of the people, and it encourages people to work towards providing the best of the service to the customers. That is the main commitment of the service company. Now, let us understand what is the role of leader in creating and implementing services vision. When we are thinking about the service vision, there is a certain role of a leader. Without a leader, the vision cannot be set. So a leader should be plays a very pivotal role in implementing and creating a service vision. So we'll understand the role of the leader. A leader may first have developed a mental image of a possible and desirable future state of the organization. Whenever a service vision is um, shaped, or whenever a service vision is put into words, into written statements, the leader must first have developed a mental picture or a mental image of the possible desirable future state of the organization. What the organization uh, wants to accomplish in the future, where the organization sees itself in the future, that should be clear in the mind of the leader. Then only he will be able to have a mental image or picture of where the company will be in the future. And these uh, features or these things that the image will help the leader in deciding or putting into words the service vision of the company. This image, this mental vision, which we call as vision, may be vague as a dream or a precise as a goal or a mission statement. So the service vision, the image that is created in the minds of the leader, and the leader then understands what the service company will look in the future, or how the service company will operate in the future. Then this, it may be either a vague as a dream, or sometimes it may be precise as a goal or a mission statement, where the leader can understand so what can be done in order to achieve this service vision. So it can be both vague or precise. So depending upon the image, if it is vague, proper much more thought must be given to make it precise and much more goal oriented. The critical point is that a vision articulates a view of realistic, credible, attractive future for the organization, a condition that is better in some important ways what now exists. So a service vision must be very, very critical from this point, because the service vision should be articulated with a realistic and a credible, attractive future. So it should not be very vague. It should be much more realistic in terms of the service vision, and it should be credible and attractive future for the organization. This, there must be a credible chance or credible vision should be there, and it should relate to the attractive future of the organization. A condition that is better in some important ways than what now exists. So there must be certain improvement in the organization, and that is the vision that the leader must be having. How the organization will move from its present state to a desirable future state, and how the organization will be operating in the future desired state. This image in the mind of the leader, this must be very realistic, it must be very critical, and will also lead to an attractive future for the organization. Something which the organization, there must be improved in certain important ways than what now the organization is doing. So the service vision that is there in the mind of the leader, this future state that the leader wants that the organization needs to achieve in the future, this should be put down into written statements. This leader, this promoting, helps in the promoting commitment to the service vision is critical if leaders are to translate service vision into specific actions. So if when we are thinking about promoting the commitment to the service vision, when we want that people should be committed towards the service vision, it is very, very critical that the leaders should be able to translate the service vision into specific action points. Because whenever certain actions or specific actions are put into words, and the leader says that these actions should be performed in order to achieve or to translate the service vision, that is to promote, that is to give proper services to the customers. So this commitment, this promotion of this commitment to work towards the satisfaction of the customers, this can only be achieved when the leader translates the service vision into specific actions. If the leader is not able to translate this service vision into specific action terms, then the people will not be able to understand, and the service vision will be very vague. Now the role of the leader is to see that the service vision should be something which can be put into specific actions. So these actions, if they are performed, then it will lead to a proper service vision, and it will help in translating the service vision into a reality. The leader must also engage in other action and activities to implement the vision, including structuring the organization, selecting, actu- acculturating and training employees, motivating, managing information, building teams, promoting change, innovation, and risk taking. So the manager, apart from putting this service vision into specific action, he also engage in a lot of other activities which helps in the implementing of the service vision, which includes like structuring the organization, selecting and training the employees properly, motivating and managing information properly, building very good action teams, and promoting change, innovation, and risk taking in the organization. If these activities are properly undertaken in the organization, then the leader will be in a position to implement the service vision into action. So this is the role of the leader. Now we'll understand the guidelines for a crafting or creating a proper service vision. So the first thing we'll understand under this heading is that what excites the customer. We have to understand what should be extra should be given to the customer so that the customer will be excited. Once we understand this, this is the first step of creating or crafting a good service vision. Identify which value dimensions really matter to your customers. So whenever a service is being provided to the customers, it is the job of the service company to see and identify the value dimensions that really matter to the customers. If the customers value price, then the prices of the services should be very affordable. If the customers value quality of the service as quality value the quality of the service as more, then the service quality should be the utmost main in focus of the service company. So whatever the various value dimension that is there in the minds of the target customers, that really matter to the target customers, that should be something which should be identified by the service company. Because once the service company is able to identify this value dimension that is very critical for the customers, then they will be able to provide this mm, services as per these value dimensions, and will understand what excites the customer, and the customer will be much more interested in availing services from the service company. Now, superlatives like great, unsurpassed, legendary may sound great, but they do not give your staff a clear idea of what kind of service your customers want. Sometimes companies, they want to give they use superlatives like they want to give a very great service to the customers, or they want to give a legendary service to the customers. This is very interesting or very good to sound, but even if it is very good to hear, this is very not practical, and this is not very specific in terms. So we should the staff, whenever they want to understand what kind of service that is to be given to the customer, they should have a clear idea as to what kind of services the customers want, what kind of services the service company intends to give to the customers. Rather than using this superlative words, the company should be able to have an understanding of the clear idea of what the customers want. Because once we understand what the customer wants, we'll be able to service the customers as per their requirements and as per their value dimension. So we have to, in brief, we have to understand what excites the customer, or what the customer looks into when they are in taking services from our company. Discover the styles of service your customers value most, then craft engaging service vision to address and fulfill their needs. So first, what we have to do is to discover the style of service your customers value most. What kind of service delivery the customers are more interested in, what kind of service delivery or services that the customer value the most, that should be first decided, that should be first explored. Then we'll be able to craft engaging service vision that addresses and fulfills their needs. So the service vision should be aimed at the customer's needs, So depending upon the customer's need, the service vision should be able to accomplish the various or accomplish and fulfill the various needs of the customers. So first we have to understand what excites the customers and what the customers looks the most in the service company or want from the service company, and what are the various value dimensions of the customers. Customers should hear your vision and say yes, that is who you are. So whenever the customers, the service vision should be such that whenever the customers hear about the service vision, they must feel excited. They must feel that yes, the service vision is matching to the service company and the kind of service that is being provided by the service company. So whenever we are making a service vision, we should always aim to understand what excites the customers, what are the value dimensions the customers value the most, what are the things that the customers are looking when they are availing service from our service company. Now moving to the second point, the second guideline that is very important while crafting or creating a very good service vision is what excites your employees. After understanding what excites your customers, we have to try and explore what excites the employees of the organization. Use words and phrases that direct, align, and motivate your staff. Your service vision must be easily understood at all levels. Whenever the service company wants to provide services to the customers, the people who will be delivering the services, the employees, the frontline employees, they must be very clear about the service vision. So the use of words and phrases should be such that it directs, aligns, and motivates the staff, because the survey vision must be easily understood at all levels. So all the people in the front line or interacting with the people, these people must be having proper idea about the service vision. There should be no doubts or ambiguous words used, and the the service vision should be able to direct and motivate the staff, and this service vision should be easily understood at all levels. If this is done, then we can understand what excites the employees, and the employees will be clear about what kind of service the service company expects that should be delivered to the customers. An engaging service vision must make sense for those in front office and at the back office, at every level from top to bottom. So the service vision should be motivating and create enthusiasm in all the people, maybe it is the front office or the frontline people or the back office people, and at every level of the company from top to bottom. So the service vision should motivate all the employees of the organization, and they should be aligned or inclined towards giving proper services to the customers. Clear and practical language should be used while making this service vision, because if we are using words which are very ambiguous or creating any confusing understandings, it is very confusing. It is not very if the customer employees are not able to understand the language, and the practical use of language is not used, then it will create a lot of chaos and confusion in the minds of the employees. So whenever a service vision is made, the language should be very very clear, and practical use of language should be made. Then the you should not settle for anything flaccid, but stake out a bolder claim. So we should not, whenever we are making a service vision, we should not settle for something less, and we try to make a bolder claim and try to achieve something much more, and that should be the aim of the service vision. Your service vision statement should be easy to put into action. It should be, but the service vision should not be very vague. It should be very precise, and the leader, while deciding or crafting the service vision, he should be able to decide upon the various action terms it should be put, and the various ways in which this service vision statement can be achieved. So this actions term should be decided, the action points should be decided, so that the employees will be excited enough and they will be able to put the service vision into practice. So this will help in providing the best services to the customers. Easy to understand does not mean easy to accomplish. So whenever the service vision is very very easy to understand, that does not directly mean that it is very easy to accomplish. So the service vision should be such that even if it is very easy to understand, also steps should be taken to accomplish the service vision goals and to implement the service vision in the organization. Staff members should read your vision and say, yes, this is who we want to be. So the service vision is something that should excite the staff. And the staff members, whenever they read the service vision, they should be motivated, they should be encouraged, they should be having this ambition, they should be filled with commitment, and they should then together say, yes, this is what we want to become. So this should be something, a shared way in which the employees will understand the service vision, and they will, the service vision is something which will add a purpose, sense of value, purpose in the minds of the people, employees. And this is something, the service vision should be something that actually excites the employees, and they will be interested to do, or to do something extra, or to walk that extra mile in order to provide the best services to the customers. Now, coming to the third guideline while crafting a service vision is, who is the service vision for? So here we have to understand why the service vision is made and who is the people for whom the service vision is made. The service vision must speak clearly to a variety of audience. Whenever a service vision is made, whenever a service vision is crafted, a few people are in the focus. So who are these people? Who are the variety of these audiences who are in focus? Let us understand. The first is the employees. The employees are also the people, the variety of audiences for whom the service vision is targeted. The employees, the words you choose must educate, motivate, and inspire your staff. These are the people who bring your service vision to life. So the people who actually bring the service vision to life is the employees, and this, the whatever service vision, the words used in putting the service vision into statements, those words should be very accurate, very clear, and they should be able to educate, motivate, and inspire the staff. Whenever the service vision able to educate, motivate, and inspire the staff, then the employers will be committed to properly provide the service to the people, and they will actually, these are the people who will actually bring the service vision into life. So the service vision must clearly speak to this variety of audiences. So this variety of audiences understand what the service vision is, and what the company wants to achieve by crafting such a service vision. Now the second variety of audience to whom the service vision speaks is the customers. The service vision should appeal to those we serve. It should tell them what style of service and level of commitment to expect. Whenever a service vision is made, the customers are in the focus of the service company. So the customer are in the focus, and the service statement should be something that should appeal to those we serve. That the customers, the service vision should be something that the appeals to the customers. The customers should understand that the service vision is something that will help in satisfying their needs. It should tell them what kind of service commitment they can expect from the service company, or what style of service they can expect from the service company. So the customers are also one of the audiences to whom the service vision speaks, and therefore the customers are very important. Now the third variety of audience to whom the service vision speaks are the suppliers. The suppliers are the people who help us in providing the right service to the customers. So the suppliers are your business partners, and suppliers must clearly understand your service vision. Their services to you directly impacts what you can provide it to others. Help them help you. So the suppliers are the people who provide you with raw materials, they provide you with the basics which helps you in providing the best of the services to the customer. So these suppliers who help you in providing the service to the customers, these people should be properly, clearly understand your service vision. Then only, because these people directly impact what you can provide to the customers, what kind of service you can provide to the customers. So the suppliers should be, some will be, are the people who will help you in providing the best services to the customer. So these are suppliers should also understand the service vision, and the service vision should clearly speak to the suppliers. Another variety of audience that to whom the service vision speaks is the shareholders of the company. Success is not just about the rate of return and profits. Use of service statements to engage shareholders emotionally and financially. the shareholders should support the service vision of your organization. The shareholders are the people who have a certain stake in your organization, and they have a certain, so these shareholders, they invest money in your organization. So the statement should not something that should engage these shareholders both emotionally and financially, that they must feel that the service vision should help the organization financially, and also emotionally they should be supporting this service vision. So the shareholders should support the service vision of your organization. If these shareholders, they do not support the service or the service vision, then the service vision will lead to failure. And also the community should also be in focus. The larger context for organization is the community in which you operate. The service vision should add to the growth and development of your community. So whenever the organization is operating is under certain business environment in a certain community. So the business should provide the service in such a way that the service organization provide the service in such a way that the it leads to the growth of the community, growth and development of the community. So the service vision should also highlight about the growth and development of the community. And finally, the competitors, the service vision also speaks to the competitors. A strong vision statement, service vision statements also works to help to differentiate your company from others. Use of service vision to differentiate yourself from others in the industry. Let people know why and how you are unique and better than your competitors. So this is one of the crucial reasons why the service vision should be given a lot of attention, because this differentiates your service company with the competitors, and the employee, then the customers are in a position to differentiate your company with the competitors. So your service, a strong service vision statement that you are having for a service company, it would be something that will differentiate you not only from the competitors, but also to let them understand why you are unique and why you are better than your competitors. Once this is done, then the customers will be able to understand and differentiate you from the competitors, and will be interested in availing services from your competitors. This is the reason, these are the various guidelines which can be used in crafting a service vision. We have to understand uh, what excites the employees, what excites the customers, and then who the service is for. Then only we can craft a proper service vision that helps in delivering the best service to the customers. Service vision provides a clear mental picture of what your organization will look like in 5 to 10 years from now. So this service vision, the vision that the company has about the organization, it's about a mental picture, an image in the mind of the leader about how the company or the organization, service organization will look in future 5 to 10 years down the line, so that they will be able to decide the way in which they want the organization to grow. Forming a strategic vision should provide long-term direction, delineate the organization activities to be pursued, and the capabilities the organization plans to develop, and infuse the organization with a sense of purposeful action. So a very strategic service vision should be very long term, that should give direction to the company, and it should be able in delineating the organization's activities that needs to be pursued, the activities that the organization needs to pursue in order to achieve the service vision, and also the capabilities of the organization that the organization plans to develop in the future, that and what are the infuse this service vision to the organization a sense of purposeful action. So purposeful action should also be the service vision should also be able to infuse a certain purposeful action in the minds of the people of the organization. So the strategic vision, service vision helps the organization in these ways. It provides a long-term direction. It helps to decide the various activities that needs to be done in order to accomplish this service vision, and the capability that the organization plans in developing, and also how the service vision will be able to infuse a certain purposeful value and action in the minds of the customers. It delineates the future focus and where the organization is going. So the service vision is nothing but what the organization will look in the future, what are the ways in which the organization wants to improve itself. The long, it gives direction to the company, and and tells the organization where the organization is going into the future. So these are the various guidelines for crafting a proper service vision. So please go through this video. If you have any doubts, contact me. There is no need to panic. And finally, thank you for your attention.